Taylor Morgan had just transferred to Ridgeway High. She didn't walk into the school trying to prove anything, but from the moment she stepped onto campus, eyes followed her like she didn't belong. In the cafeteria, 3 boys stared as she passed. Whispers turned into mocking laughter. By the time the bell rang, someone had spilled orange soda across her chair. She wiped it without a word and sat anyway. What they didn't know, Taylor's father wasn't just a parent. He was Commander Elijah Morgan, a decorated Navy SEAL with over 2 decades of active duty. And Taylor? She was trained by him to never run, never flinch, and never fight unless she had no other choice. Before we continue, hit that subscribe button, turn on your notification bell to get notified for more, and share with friends. Where are you watching from? Drop it in the comments. We love seeing how far our stories travel. Taylor had never been the type to seek attention. She was a quiet force, confident, not cocky, and her addition to the Ridgeway cheer squad wasn't something she begged for. The coach had scouted her during gym class. 1 backflip, 1 toe touch. That was enough. She made varsity in a week, but her presence shook things up. She was the only black girl on the squad. Worse for some of the boys, she didn't shrink herself. She walked with her chin high, shoulders straight, and didn't laugh at jokes that weren't funny, especially not from them. Derek, the quarterback, Nate, his sidekick, and Ethan, the loudest, meanest of the trio. They ruled the halls like they owned the school. No teacher questioned them. No one challenged them until Taylor came along. One afternoon at practice, Derek accidentally knocked over her water bottle. She picked it up calmly. "Relax," he smirked. "Just teaching you how things work around here." Taylor didn't reply. Later that week, they cornered her near the gym doors after hours. "Why don't you go cheer at a school that actually needs you?" Nate said, "This isn't the hood." Taylor stepped around them without saying a word. At home, her father noticed. He was slicing vegetables for dinner when he asked, "How's the new school?" She hesitated. "Fine." Elijah paused, looked up. "You holding back doesn't make you weak. But hiding what's real, that's dangerous." So she told him, not everything, just enough. He listened, cleaned the cutting board, then turned to her with the quiet intensity she knew too well. "Remember what I taught you. Strength is measured in how you carry pressure. You don't react, you respond. But if they cross that final line," Taylor nodded. "I know. Then you act, but you act with discipline." The next day, she walked into school different. Not angry, just clearer, sharper, ready. But the boys escalated. One day, they started filming her during stretches, making jokes too crude to repeat. Taylor ignored them. Another day, she opened her locker and a dead rat fell out. Laughter echoed down the hall. She wanted to scream, but she didn't. Instead, she trained harder. She remembered every early morning with her dad. Obstacle courses, mental drills, tactical breathing. "You don't have to be loud to be powerful," he'd say. "Make them unsure what you're capable of." Homecoming week arrived. Taylor was selected to lead the halftime cheer routine, a huge deal. She choreographed it herself. The squad trusted her. The night before the big game, she stayed late, rehearsing alone in the gym. That's when she heard the doors creak open. "Derek, Nate, Ethan, look who thinks she's a star," Ethan said. Taylor turned, her eyes calm. "Practicing for your 1 minute of fame?" Derek mocked. "Newsflash, you're still just a sideshow." She said nothing, packed her bag. But when she stepped toward the exit, Derek blocked the door. "You think you're too good for us? Just 'cause you can jump high and wear a tight outfit?" Taylor's jaw clenched. Her fingers curled tight around her backpack strap. Nate stepped closer. "Come on, just admit you don't belong here." Taylor breathed slowly. The silence stretched. Then, fast, too fast for them to react, she stepped forward, sidestepped Derek, and in one fluid motion, twisted Nate's wrist just enough to send him stumbling back. Derek lunged. Wrong move. Taylor dropped her bag, ducked low, and swept his feet from under him. The gym echoed with the thud of him hitting the floor. Ethan froze, wide-eyed. "I don't want to fight." Taylor said, voice even. But I'm done running. Then she picked up her bag and walked out, leaving 3 stunned boys behind. She didn't know someone had seen it all. Up in the bleachers, hidden in the dark, sat Leo, a quiet sophomore with a camera and a YouTube channel no one knew about. That night, he uploaded the footage, captioned it. They messed with the wrong girl. By morning, it had 40,000 views. By afternoon, 300,000. Teachers saw it. Students watched it in class. Even the principal called an emergency meeting. Jessica, Taylor's teammate, ran up to her in the hallway. That video, you were incredible. I didn't even know you could do all that. Taylor didn't smile. I shouldn't have had to. That day, the boys were suspended. They claimed it was staged, but the footage, clear and raw, told the truth. And for the first time, Ridgeway High took bullying seriously. The principal called Taylor into his office. You had every reason to fight back earlier, he said. But you showed patience, control, and when you acted, it was to protect yourself. You've taught the school a lesson most adults forget. At the next pep rally, Taylor was asked to speak. She stood before a gym full of teenagers, many of whom used to whisper about her. Now they listened. I didn't come here to make a statement. I just wanted to be myself. But when people try to tear you down for being different, you have 2 choices, shrink or stand. I was raised by a man who taught me that strength isn't about fists. It's about standing tall, staying calm, and knowing exactly who you are even when they try to take that from you. If you're being bullied, know this. You're not weak because you're scared. You're strong when you refuse to become the monster they expect. Taylor left the stage to a standing ovation, and somewhere in the back, her father stood quietly, arms folded. He didn't clap. He never did. But his eyes, they were proud. Taylor had passed the test not with her fists, but with her restraint, her discipline, and her courage. I hope you enjoyed the story. If you were Taylor, what would you have done? If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Your support means a lot. See you in our next story.